there's no puncher. To me, in my eyes, there's not a puncher's chance of Iowa winning this game because essentially what you're talking about is JJ McCarthy, JJ McCarthy having an absolute meltdown, one that he probably hasn't had in his career. I mean, we're talking four pick sixes.
Stop. Why? Okay. Be a little respectful to Iowa. Now look, he doesn't have to have a meltdown.
No. Listen, no, because at some point we've got to acknowledge Michigan is the better team, and the things that need to happen, and I kind of go back to the Big Ten championship because we're talking about, K's got to throw 2 picks, and Michigan's got to muff a punt, and we got to block a kick and score. Like, all of these things that have to happen, what are the percentage chances of those things happening? Like, they held Iowa State to 7, or to whatever you said, 10 points. They still lost. Lost. And Michigan's better than Iowa State.
But the difference is, especially between one of the reasons why I couldn't give Corey any breathing room in terms of his arguments for why Iowa's going to win in the Big Ten title game was because by then we knew definitively what both teams were, what they did well, what they didn't do well, and there was no formula that Iowa could come up with that realistic based on what Michigan did. Right? Michigan did not turn the ball over last year. Right? They were heavy in veteran and leadership experience all across the board. This team is a little bit different. They do have veterans, but they're still trying to come to form of what they really are. What is their winning formula? Is it leaning on it right now? Thus far, is leaning on their star running back. Right now, Blake Corum is a straw that stirs the drink for that whole football team. Right, and so look, I'm trying to figure out what this team is, and JJ is young, so it's not. He doesn't have to have a meltdown. He can just be he can have a typical struggles of a kid on his first row start, 2 turnovers,
but
not have a meltdown.
Okay, so let's say those 2 turnovers are the absolute worst that they could be. 2 pick sixes, right? Or 2 fumble scoop and scores. That's 14 points there. So I guess my question to you would be, how many points do you think Michigan is going to score on Saturday?
Gosh, that's a good question, man. I actually think that it's going to be.
Do you think it's less than 20?
No, I'll go 20. That's tough.
And that's my point. That's what I started with. Is Michigan's probably gonna score 28? Probably. So you're telling okay. So there's 2 touchdowns there.
I like that.
So give me 3 more touchdowns from the Iowa football team that you're gonna produce, or 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Do you see Iowa going on a 70-yard drive and a field goal?
No. But hold on.
And that's my point because
but you said that there's not even a puncher's chance.
There isn't, because you're going to need. You just told me what you think is going to happen. The absolute worst that could happen for JJ is 2 turnovers. I just told you if those turnovers are the worst they could possibly be, you still need 17 more points to win the game, or 15.
Are you 100% correct? So is this partly this lack of confidence in Iowa scoring? Is it due to Iowa's offense or your extreme confidence in Michigan's defense? Because I actually still don't know what Michigan's defense is, but I know Iowa's offense sucks. So
and that's my point, Dre.
Okay.
That is the point. It's what and see, the thing is we may not know what, both the teams are top to bottom. We know what this Iowa offense is. It is not very good. 7 points against South Dakota State, 7 points against Iowa State. And the 7 they scored against South Dakota State was one field goal from the offense. They had 2 safeties. So my thing is, I'm like, I know what this offense is, and this is not, because the thing is too, even if you say, well, maybe, Iowa hits a couple deep shots, they don't even throw the ball deep. That's not their offense. That's not what they do. So I and then also too, you've got, Michigan has some really good playmakers. We saw DJ Turner with a big interception last week. He's been playing lockdown defense from the jump. We've seen Mozzie Smith be in absolute chaos in the middle. Mike Morris, I don't know. To me, I just don't see where Iowa is able to score enough points to win the game. If you're telling me that somehow, Kirk Ferentz and Brian Ferentz are all of a sudden going to open up this playbook and we're going to see 4 verticals from Iowa and them throwing the ball, I mean, how realistic is that?
It's not realistic, dude. But I think we're arguing two different things. I never said that Iowa was likely to win. I know, I believe Michigan is going to win this football game, but we're arguing if Iowa has a puncher's chance. A puncher's chance could be 15%. So like, yeah, I think there's a chance that a couple things can go their way. Do I think it's likely? Hell no, I don't. But I do think it's possible, and I think it's a little bit more possible this game compared to the Big Ten title game because of the unknowns. Because of the unknowns about Michigan's defense. Because of JJ playing his first road game. Those are real things. Now, let's say if JJ, I don't know, dude. Now, you asked me earlier in the show. Better if Michigan road game before now. Let's say that Michigan had the exact same score, but they won at Maryland last week. Maybe I probably would have a little bit more confidence because I would have seen this year's team in a different type of environment. I would have seen JJ as a starter on the road, right? And that would have impacted my going to the game. I don't know. And so I am leaving room for things that happen that I have not seen. Could be Michigan looking uncharacteristically bad, just doing some uncharacteristic things on Saturday. That's all I'm saying. It's possible that Michigan can lose this game. Not likely. You need to acknowledge that.
Get off of the fence. Get off of the fence. You're trying to hold on to that little bit of. So when we're talking post game, you could be like, oh well, see, I said that. I said there was a little bit of a chance. No. Don't be trying to hedge your bet. Go all in. I just don't think there's a puncher's chance. I mean, if you're talking, someone had put in the I think Jesse put, no, that's not the right one. He put essentially every team has a puncher's chance, which, yeah, here it is. Everyone has a puncher's chance, LOL. That is correct because we played the football games, but I just don't don't think so. Don't think so.
Look, I mean, we're at the end of the day, and I swear people don't listen. We're arguing about a puncher's chance. At the end of we both agree Michigan's going to win the football game. Do you guys need me to be a little bit more clear for you? Michigan should win this game. I'm not saying they're not going to. All I'm saying is that we should not go into this game thinking, man, will pigs fly and hell will freeze over, before Michigan loses this game at Iowa. No, there is a definitive chance that they can lose this football game. So, look, I mean, is it as scary of a game I thought it would be preseason? No, but is a game that calls for concern. And that's just it. And, this is going to really, throw some people off. I agree with Corey. I would feel for this game in particular and the factors going into it, I would feel a little bit more comfortable if Cade was starting going into this game. Because I would know at least what he is and what he can do in this type of situation. By no means am I saying Cade is as good as JJ. He is not. I'm simply saying the experience factor. That matters, right? Cade McNamara won a big-time game at Penn State, right? So that's all I'm talking about. You have to consider those type of things.
I just think that I just need to know where these Iowa points are going to come from. That's the main thing. Because even if you score, the most Iowa scored in a game this year has been 27. They scored 27 against Nevada and 27 last week against Rutgers. Unless you're telling me that Michigan's defense is on the same plane as Rutgers, then cool. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
I don't either. And it's like, dude, we're not saying different things. I feel like the way we're talking, it's like I'm on pro Iowa side, you're pro Michigan. It's not like that at all. We both agree Michigan's going to win the football game. You just think there's no way in hell that Iowa can win this football game. And I'm saying, and I'm just saying, no. I mean, there's a chance. There is a chance. And look, Dalvin Elbridge is banged up, right? I don't know if he's a go or no go yet for Saturday. But look, Blake Corum gets a heavy workload. What if he gets banged up? He had an ankle injury last year. What if he gets banged up during the game? We saw C.J. Stokes fumble last game, and then he got benched the rest of the way. Is C.J. Stokes ready to take on a heavy workload if Blake Corum gets banged up during the game? You never know what can happen in this type of environment. And so then if that situation happens, now you really got to lean on JJ to make some plays in the passing game. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Like you have to be a little bit careful in these type of situations where some of your key players are having first big test of their career. And this is one of the first tests of JJ's Michigan career as a starter. It just is.
Well, the thing is I've checked out Corey's stream often enough to know that there are many issues with the offense. Starting from Kirk Ferentz promoting his son to offensive coordinator with basically no real track record, essentially, of being an offensive coordinator. The quarterback not playing well, the offense, Corey has said these things, and he is someone who watches Iowa every snap of them. So for him to say that there's a lot of issues with the offense, and we continue to see the same thing week after week, like I'm taking it from him, from Corey, the actual person who watches every single snap of Iowa, that he does, you know what I mean, that there's a lot of issues with this offense. And if you're telling me in 2022 that a team that has a rough time moving the ball is going to beat a team who I think is pretty good in Michigan, it's just tough for me to see that, and I don't see that. I don't see that. So that's.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, look, we're it is what it is. At the end of the day, I think we're both picking Michigan to win the football game, and God forbid I tried to play devil's advocate a little bit and like it just kind of talk about all aspects of this game. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Go blue. Yeah, there's no one in hell Iowa can beat this. We're the best in the conference, and everybody else can kick rocks. That's just how much that. No, that's why I need to say that. Please, everybody. We're going to win. We're the best. JJ for Heisman. Blake Corum for whatever the Walker whatever award. What else? What's the DB award that we can get the G.J. Turner? Oh, what about the defensive lineman? Was it the Burns-Nack, whatever award it goes to for Mozzie Smith for the best defensive lineman of the year? Let's just do all that, because whenever you try to give additional perspective to the opponent while we can lose, that's not good enough for people. They just want to say to help everybody else and we're the best, and that's just it. I don't know. I don't do this to please everyone. I'm trying to give a full perspective on all aspects of the game. That doesn't mean that I doubt my team. I just realized that other team is playing too, and sometimes, whatever.
Here's my thing. I just want all of the people who are like, "Oh, Desmond's being so smug about this." Like, when I think that there's one team that is clearly better than the other one, that is what I'm going to say. So I would like you folks to make sure you're at the post game, because I'll definitely be here, and we can go from there. So